Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ms. Thato D. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I make motherhood content here on YouTube. I have a 17 months old baby boy. His name is Maru. So please do subscribe. It's free and it really helps my channel to grow. In today's video, as you can see from the title, I will be sharing with you guys how we finally got rid of Maru's eczema. If you're somebody who's been following my channel for quite some time now, then you might know that I have mentioned his struggle with eczema before, and I have gotten quite a few requests to make this video, but I wanted to make sure that when I do this video, I'm going to talk about products that I am 100% that they work, and they have worked for Ru, and that he has used for quite some time, long enough for me to see that they work, because in the past I've used products that would work for quite some time and then would eventually stop working. Now, just a little backstory about Maru's eczema. He's had eczema ever since he was about 3 months old, and his eczema was pretty severe. He would have really dry, flaky skin around his joints area, his wrists, his elbows, his neck, his what do you call this part, his ankle and his knees. They would get really dry and flaky. Sometimes they'll be peeling off and they would be really itchy. He would be scratching 90% of the day and very uncomfortable, and it would disrupt his sleep, it would disrupt his playtime, and just his overall quality of life. I could see that it was really affected by his eczema. So we've seen his pediatrician a few times about his eczema, and I've actually documented one of those trips. I will link that video in the description down below. So we would go and see her, and she would usually recommend that we use steroid creams. She'd prescribe to us a cream for his face and also a cream for his body, and they would work for quite some time. But I was very worried about the continuous use of them, because they would be because they are known to be very rough on the skin, especially for sensitive baby skin. In the beginning, she would prescribe the creams and want us to mix it with a little bit of moisturizer, but then the more we came about Maru's eczema and the more severe it became, she just recommended that we put the creams without mixing it, and that made me really nervous, you guys. It made me really nervous because of the sensitive skin that Maru had already. So after seeing her a couple of times about it, we ended up deciding that we wanted to get a second opinion. So we went out and found another pediatrician, and then he recommended that we do a allergy test. And then the allergy test results came back, and then he tested positive for being allergic to dairy, to what was it again? It was soy, it was also peanuts, and also I think traces of wheat. It was quite a shocker, especially with the dairy, because he's been having dairy ever since he was born. Even when he was exclusively breastfeeding, I had dairy all the time. He was also having yogurt, he was having milk with his cereals and foods and all that stuff. His formula had dairy. So we were just really shocked, because we had never seen any signs of him being allergic to dairy at all. But still, we decided to cut dairy out of his diet. We changed his formula. We basically overall changed his diet to a no dairy diet. I really didn't see much of a change after cutting dairy out of his diet. All that it did though was that he was becoming a little skinnier, and he was looking a little bit hungry. Like he was not gaining enough weight, and his pediatrician actually noticed that he was not quite as chunky as he used to be, and she was just like, hey, is there anything that you've changed in your diet? And that's when we came clean and told her that, hey, we saw a pediatrician who said he's allergic to dairy, so then we cut dairy out of his diet. And then she was like, you know, when it comes to babies with eczema, they usually test positive for food allergies. So sometimes these are misdiagnoses just because the baby has eczema. So as long as the baby doesn't show any signs of being allergic to something, chances are that they are not allergic to it. So I was just in my head like, have we been starving this child? And also I went back to do some researches about misdiagnosis when it comes to food allergies in babies, and I saw that it's very common for babies with eczema to test positive for food allergies. And my pediatrician actually told me, she was like, you know, because you've been here about Maru's eczema so many times, if Maru was actually allergic to something, you as a mom would have noticed it, because it's so sudden, and you would have mentioned it to me, and I would have suggested an allergy test, because when a baby has an allergic reaction to something, you see it very right away. They start vomiting, or they have diarrhea, or they just start to scratch their face and get a rash around their cheek area, or their tongue will swell. Like, it's so sudden. So if he hadn't shown any of those kind of reactions, then chances are he was just not allergic to it, and we have basically been starving the child. And so you can imagine all the things that we've been through when it comes to Maru's eczema, all the creams and products and doctors, all the money, man, all the money we have spent just trying to get rid of his eczema. It has been a journey. So a couple of months ago, our pediatrician referred us to see a dermatologist who was the game changer for us, because he literally sat me down and had to be like, hey mom, I realized that sometimes as parents we want to find a cure. And the thing about eczema is that it does not have a cure. It is something that you just have to be empowered as a mom to manage and to treat. I think that was the problem with me, is that I was literally always looking for cures. I was looking for something that's gonna make my baby's eczema just go away and I'm never ever gonna see it again. He gave us a bunch of instructions that we could use just to manage his eczema and his dry skin on an everyday basis, and also gave us instructions on what to do when he does have flare-ups. So the first instruction was that during bath time, we only bath him once a day with lukewarm water, and we don't bath him for longer than 3 minutes. And then he recommended that we put some bit of this liquid paraffin in his water. There's not really a dosage, you just eyeball it, just like whatever feels right to you, you just pour it into his water. And then the soap that we used was pure glycerine infant soap. I don't think I have it here with me. I will insert it there for you guys to see it. So that is the soap that we used. And to dry him, we don't rub, we pet dry him, and then we put lotion on him immediately. Now with lotion, the game changer, guys, I know it's gonna sound like it's just the simplest thing. This is the fighter that we've been using. Every single time he has a flare-up, every single time there are signs of having a flare-up, we would have Vaseline, and then in the Vaseline we would put like this glycerine thing. So these are the two things that literally changed the game for us. We use these especially when he has flare-ups. We put them over after we put this mix that was made for us. It has a steroid cream thing, but it's also mixed with Epimax, which kind of made my heart settle about the effects of steroid creams. It is mixed with a steroid cream called Persivate, and it has Epimax thing. It has this Epimax. He hasn't flared up in quite a while now, but every time we feel like, you know, he's about to flare up, his skin is looking a little bit dry, or the weather is kind of funny, we put this on him, and then over it, after we put this, we put this. And also another trick is that you want to keep him moisturized throughout the day. Every single moment that you identify that his skin is getting a little bit dry, you moisturize. We used to moisturize every single time we go for a diaper change. We moisturize every single time we just identify, hey, the boy is dry, we moisturize. So you'll find that we've been moisturizing 6, 7, 8 times a day. When he's not having any kind of flare-ups and he's just having a normal day, we moisturize him with this Epimax Plus cream. Another product that we really like, which is good for moisturizing the skin, is this Epizone ointment. You can use it to bath your baby. When we don't have a soap, like the pure soap, we use it to bath him. We just put all over his body, and then we put him in the tub, and then we wash him off, and sometimes we put it on him right after bath time. You want to put the lotion on him when he's still damp, he's still a little bit wet. Another instruction that he gave us was that when he is having flare-ups, we should make sure that we only have him in cotton clothes and avoid like harsh fabrics like denim or corduroy and stuff. We should have him in loose fitting cotton clothes so that it doesn't irritate his skin. Another big instruction was that we should wash the baby detergent that we use. I have showed you guys the baby detergent, the Sunlight baby washing soap. It's very mild, because sometimes these deodorant scented stuff, they can be really harsh on baby skin, so you don't want to use those really hectic stuff. So another big thing is that you want to keep your baby's nails short. You want to make sure that you cut them constantly, because when they scratch a lot, it irritates the skin even further, and sometimes it can cause an infection and can make the skin a little bit more, you know, thicker and leathery, and that's really not good for his eczema, and it makes it a little harder to treat. So yeah, man, those are the little things that we've changed about his routine and everything that we do for him. He has not had eczema in a while, like I said, and he is just such a happy child now, and I'm so glad that we finally just got it in our heads that all we have to do is just be empowered enough to know that we have to manage it and we have to try to treat it when it comes, and that if your baby has eczema, then your baby just has eczema, and a lot of the time you just want to wait for him to outgrow it, and that is literally all that you can do because there is no cure. Just before I finish, I'd like to just say that everything that I've talked about here, you can go and try if you are a mom that's dealing with an eczema baby. You can go and try, but there is no real guarantee that it I keep running out of memory, but yeah, man, like I was saying, there's no real guarantee that it would work for your baby. If your baby really has severe acne, then I would recommend that you also go and see a dermatologist, and they are in a better position to help you treat it. But you can definitely try these methods because I've read a lot of eczema articles and a lot of eczema moms, and these are the things that have really worked, especially the lifestyle changes, the bathing routine, the constant moisturizing, and just the loose fitting clothes and all that stuff. Those are just common things that anyone with eczema, even if you're an adult, are things that you are advised to do. So just make sure that you are empowered and you know that there is no real cure for eczema. I'm rooting for you, mama. It's not something that you did. I know that I've struggled with this where I get mom shamed for it, and maybe it's something that I'm eating, maybe it's something that I ate when I was pregnant, it's something that I'm giving him, or maybe I'm not taking care of him right. It's all these things. I literally have had people come up to me, family members obviously, who have said to me, hey, maybe it's all of these fancy things that you guys be buying for your child, you know, these perfumed stuff. You guys are not so fancy, you just put these perfumed stuff, and it would really get to me sometimes. But yeah, just know that it's not anything that you did. It's very common. Eczema is very common. Dry skin is very common in babies. So you are not alone, mama. You're not alone. You're not the only one struggling. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys found this video really helpful. Do give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys in the next video. My sun is up, so right in time for me to finish this video. Thank you guys for watching. Mwah. Bye.